Massive attack. Ukrainian Leopard tanks destroy Russian armored vehicles in horrific attack on Kursk. New video footage released by Ukraine shows Leopard 2 tanks attacking a column of Russian armored vehicles. The footage, apparently taken by drones and shared by Ukraine's 33rd Separate Mechanized Brigade, shows a convoy of Russian vehicles driving down a track and coming under fire, with smoke billowing from some of the vehicles. The drone footage then shows soldiers being shot at as they try to flee. The Leopard tank crews blow the column of Russian armored vehicles to pieces. True professionals and heroes of Ukraine's 33rd Brigade. The brigade said the Leopard tank crews, aided by artillery and drones, destroyed 47 soldiers, 2 tanks, 1 armored personnel carrier, 3 armored fighting vehicles, and 1 motorcycle. According to the New Voice of Ukraine, the 33rd Brigade was fighting in the key flashpoint of Kursk in Ukraine's Donetsk Oblast. Business Insider was unable to verify the footage or when it was taken. Russia has suffered heavy losses in vehicles in Ukraine. In October, the country lost 695 pieces of equipment, including 103 tanks that were destroyed, damaged, abandoned, or captured, according to the open-source research project Oryx. However, Ukraine also has a tank problem and has a much smaller fleet, while Russia's larger military has been able to use its superiority in equipment and personnel to try to overwhelm Ukrainian defenses. A member of the 33rd Brigade's gun-mount crew said in an update posted on the brigade's Telegram channel this week that Russia had doubled its troop numbers and was pushing back against the area where the brigade was operating. Both Ukraine and Russia have struggled to use tanks effectively in what has become a drone-dominated war. While tanks are designed to survive attacks, many models were not designed with airstrikes in mind, where even cheap drones can damage or destroy them. Ukraine has added extra armor to its most advanced Western tanks to try to better defend them against such attacks, as well as the heavy artillery used in the war. A tank loader in the 33rd Brigade told the New Voice of Ukraine that the Leopards were crucial to their defense of Kursk. The loader, nicknamed Baroda, said, "I've heard people say that tanks are no longer important, that artillery is more important for defense. I can't speak for the entire front line," he added, "but here we've definitely deployed more troops. We're not just attacking enemy positions from afar, we're also attacking their armor more often. That's where the Leopards really shine." The brigade spokesman, Nazar Voidinkov, told the media that tank-to-tank engagements involving Ukrainian Leopards had become more frequent. He also said that Russia had not seen significant progress in the area since February. How Ukraine responds in the long term will likely depend on the actions of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, who has repeatedly criticized U.S. aid to Ukraine. The U.S. has been Ukraine's single largest supporter throughout the war, and losing its support would have major implications. Some Ukrainian and foreign military experts have expressed cautious optimism that Ukraine can convince Trump to continue supporting it financially, and that a potential shift away from slow-flowing aid under President Joe Biden could be a good thing for the country. Today, there is a significant update from the Kursk direction. After more than a month of preparation, Russia has launched a new wave of counterattacks to retake Malaya Lochnia from two fronts of advance, involving North Korea. However, Ukraine has taken advantage of the operational lull, allowing them to fully prepare some of their most elite units for the Russian offensive. The Russian plan in this area is to advance 4 kilometers along a paved road towards Malaya Lochnia, which is aimed at the town near the settlement of Pogrebki. The second route is planned west of Malaya Lochnia, advancing along the road from Novoivanovka. Gaining control of Malaya Lochnia would allow Russia to cut off Ukrainian forces stationed north of the town and secure a large area north of it, thus extending their counterattack south towards Sudzha. Some of Ukraine's most elite and experienced units, including the 47th Mechanized Brigade, 82nd Airmobile Brigade, 17th Mechanized Brigade, and 80th Airmobile Brigade, were tasked with defending this area. Given these units' expertise and strong leadership, they anticipated repeated large-scale Russian mechanized assaults along the paved roads to Malaya Lochnia. Recognizing that the Russians could only attack from 2 directions due to the limited road access, Ukrainian commanders prepared by deploying substantial drone units and implementing remote mining along these roads to counter the assault. As anticipated, the Russians launched a major assault north of Pogrebki along the road to Malaya Lochnia, deploying around 15 BTRs and over 150 soldiers from the Russian 810th Marine Brigade, reportedly with North Korean troops. The assault hit landmines immediately, wiping out the first 3 vehicles and an entire platoon before reaching Ukrainian-controlled areas. By the time Russian forces entered Pogrebki, 5 of the 15 BTRs had already been destroyed by landmines alone. Ukrainians then destroyed 9 more BTRs around Pogrebki using a combination of drones, landmines, and RPGs, forcing a desperate Russian retreat. Only 1 BTR managed to reach the rear but was soon eliminated, marking the total destruction of the Russian column. Published footage by the Ukrainian troops from the area reveals that North Korean Type 73 machine guns were discovered scattered around the eliminated column. This implies the gradual inclusion of North Korean soldiers in Russian storming operations, as their numbers of deployed fighters are slowly growing in Kursk. Anticipating a coordinated Russian assault from Novoivanovka to align with the attack toward Pogrebki, Ukrainians deployed tanks from the 17th Mechanized Brigade to disrupt Russian force concentrations preparing for the offensive. Combat footage shows Ukrainian tanks conducting a raid on Russian positions in nearby forests.